Hey everybody, this video is called Commanders and Leaders, and tonight we continue our pass-through study as we get close to the finish line of First Chronicles, where we're going to be looking at the tribal leaders and the officials of the state. So today, the chronicler, he's going to focus on the labor of the army and its leaders. In the last four chapters, we looked at the spiritual leadership, while the chronicler is now going to focus on the civil aspects of David's kingdom. So chapter 27, we're going to read verse 1 through 15 here real quick. It says, "And the children of Israel, according to their number, the heads of their fathers' houses, the captains of thousands and hundreds and their officers, served the king in every matter of the military divisions. These divisions came in and went out month by month throughout all the months of the year, each division having 24,000. Over the first division of the first month was Joshubeam, the son of Zabdiel, and in his division were 24,000. He was of the children of Perez, and the chief of all the captains of the armies for the first month. Over the division of the second month was Dodai and Ahohite, and of his division Mikloth also was the leader. In his division were 24,000. And the third captain of the army for the third month was Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the priest, who was chief, and in his division were 24,000. And this was Benaiah, who was mighty among the 30, and was over the 30, and the division was Amizabdab, his son. The fourth captain of the fourth month was Asahel, the son of Joab, and Zebediah, his son, after him. And the division were 24,000. The fifth captain for the fifth month was Shamhuth, the Israelite, and his division were 24,000. The sixth captain for the sixth month was Ura, the son of Ikesh, the Tekoite, and in the division were 24,000. The seventh captain of the seventh month was Helez, the Pelonite of the children of Ephraim. In his division were 24,000. The eighth captain for the eighth month was Sebetche, the Hushathite of the Zarhites. In the division were 24,000. The ninth captain for the ninth month was Abiezer, the Anathothite of the Benjamites. In the division were 24,000. The 10th captain for the 10th month was Mahare, the Nephophthite of the Zarhites. In his division were 24,000. The 11th captain for the 11th month was Benaiah, the Perthoronite of the children of Ephraim. In his division were 24,000. The 20th captain for the 12th month was Haldai, the Naphtophathite of Nothiel, or Othniel. In his division were 24,000. And I'll tell you one thing, the one thing I will not miss about the book of First Chronicles is these names. But we see the list here of the standing army of 288,000 men, which had the responsibility to guard the nation and temple. And they were divided in 12 divisions, each which served for 1 month during a year. And when full war occurred, a larger force could be called into action. You can probably think of it today like the National Guard in the Army or the military reserves. And Benaiah, he was a great hero in Israel, as he killed 2 mighty Moabites and a lion in a pit on a snowy day, and the formidable Egyptian, as we saw back in 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 20 through 21 at the end of last year. And Asahel was tragically killed in battle by Abner, who was the commander of Ishbosheth's armies back in 2 Samuel 2, verse 18 through 23 that we saw back in November. And remember that Ishbosheth was Saul's son who tried to follow him to the throne of Israel. In verse 16 through 22 it says, "Furthermore, over the tribes of Israel, the officer of the Reubenites was Eliezer, the son of Zitri. Over the Simonites, Shaphatiah, the son of Maacah. or Mecha over the Levites, Hashabiah the son of Kemuel over the Aaronites, Zadok over Judah, Elihu, one of David's brothers, over Issachar, Omri the son of Michael over Jebulun, Ishmaiah the son of Obadiah over Naphtali, Jeremoth the son of Azriel over the children of Ephraim, Hosea the son of Azaziah over the half-tribe of Manasseh, Joel the son of Pedadiah over the half-tribe of Manasseh in Gilead, Iddo the son of Zechariah over Benjamin, Jaasiel the son of Abner over Dan, Azarel the son of Jehoram, and these were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. So verses 16 through 22, while 12 officers are named, we see the tribes of Asher and Gad are not mentioned for unknown reasons. And the list describes here the tribal leaders who weren't priestly or military leaders, but administrators in the civil service of the kingdom of Israel. In verse 23, to wrap up through 34, it says, "But David did not take the number of those 20 years and under, because the Lord had said he would multiply Israel like the stars of the heavens. Joab, the son of Zeruiah, began a census, but he did not finish it, for wrath came upon Israel because of this census, nor was the number recorded in the account of the Chronicles of King David. And Azmaveth, the son of Adiel, was over the king's treasuries, and Jehoiadan, the son of Uzziah, was over the storehouses in the field, in the cities and the villages, and in the fortresses. Ezri, the son of Chalub, was over those who did the work of the field for tilling the ground. And Shimei, the Ramathite, was over the vineyards, and Zabdi, the Shiphamite, was over the produce of the vineyards for the supply of wine. Baal-Hanan, the Gederite, was over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the lowlands, and Joash was over store of oil. And Shetrai, the Sharonite, was over the herds that fed in Sharon, and Shaphat, the son of Adlai, was over the herds of those in the valleys. Obil, the Ishmaelite, was over the camels. Jehediah, the Meronothite, was over the donkeys, and Jejez, the Hagrite, was over the flocks. All these were the officials over King David's property. Also, Jehonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a wise man and a scribe, and Jehiel, the son of Hachmoni, was with the king's sons. Ahithophel was with the king's counselor, and Hushai, the Archite, was with the king's companion. After Ahithophel was Jehoiada, the son of Benaiah, then Abiathar, and the general of the king's army was Joab. So here we see the comment further on the sinful census that we looked at just a few weeks ago back in chapter 21. And he didn't try to number all the Israelites because there were too many, nor did he finish the census being interrupted by his guilt and judgment. And daily records were kept of the king's reign. And none of it was kept on this day of calamity because the record was too painful. And after David stopped taking the census, he went on to trust God that God would increase the kingdom and make them great. And Joab was one more of the more complex characters of the Old Testament. And he was a fiercely loyal supporter to David, yet not strongly obedient. And he disobeyed David when he thought it was in David's best interest, and he was cunning and ruthless in his own possession. In verse 25 through 31, it gives the summary here of the officials who looked over David's agricultural assets. In verse 32 through 34, it gives a summary of those whose duties kept them in close contact with the king, perhaps like what we have with the United States president. They have what they call the cabinet. And when David's son Absalom rebelled against him, Ahithophel betrayed David and joined the revolution. And Husham pretended loyalty to Absalom, and his advice caused Absalom's death in 2 Samuel 15, verse 31 through 2 Samuel 17, verse 23. So, for a quick wrap up here, because the temple talk in these few chapters, we're pushing right through them, but today the chronicler goes over the military divisions of Israel. And we also see that he goes over the captains of David's army, and he goes over the tribal leaders, and he ends with the officials in David's government. And that's going to be it for tonight. We'll see you next time as we're going to look at David's charge to Solomon. So I hope you have a great rest of your evening. God bless.